Hi all, Jon Griffith here, and in this video I'm here to describe how you could use a data puzzle, a scaffolded data puzzle lesson before using one of our more open-ended exploratory resources. We're calling these puzzle pieces. So how could you use these two in tandem to support our learners in these data analysis and investigations? I'm going to open up this Snow in the Rockies data puzzle lesson. All our data puzzles open up to this page that have some background information and the teaching materials down below, teacher guide, slide deck, student worksheet. I'm going to open up student worksheet just so you get a sense of what is in a student worksheet. There's some background text providing some context before students analyze a data set. In this case, we're talking about snow conditions in the East River watershed, deep in the Rocky Mountains of Colorado. Emphasis on the water cycle and trying to get students to think about how the amount of snow falling in the Rockies and the timing which that snow melts might impact downstream water users in the Colorado River Basin. These data puzzle lessons have a question a featured scientist is trying to investigate. In this case, how have snow conditions in the East River watershed changed over time? There's a virtual field trip to look at some of the instruments that were collecting these data up in the Rocky Mountains. After students engage in that interactive text, there are some questions challenging students to reflect on some of the big ideas in that text. And then students identify the question that the featured scientist is investigating verbatim in the text, make a prediction about that investigation. And then there are some data sets. In this case, there's a data set looking at the total amount of snow in the East River watershed at the Rocky Mountain Biological Lab there. So total snowfall over time, 1975 to the present. In these data puzzle lessons, we have scaffolded questions to support students in analyzing the data set. Secondary data set here, snow melt, the date at which the snow melted from 1975 to the present. So the trends are less snowfall, and that snowfall is melting earlier. Questions to support the data analysis, opportunity for students to revise their predictions, and then they construct a final evidence-based model to represent new understandings. Not included in this data puzzle lesson is a why, like what's causing changes in snowmelt, date, why might there be less snowfall over time, and those are some of the questions that students might have that they could go explore in a puzzle piece. I'm going to toggle over to this tab here. Here are some of the puzzle pieces that are available right now. We're building out our library as we speak. The snow conditions in the Colorado Rocky Mountains puzzle piece would allow students to investigate the why. Why is there less snowfall? Why is snow melting earlier? What's causing these sorts of things? And to do that, we've got a number of data sets, snowfall, snowmelt data, which they just explored in the data puzzle lesson, along with some seasonal and annual temperature data over that same time period. So again, this is a puzzle piece. We can toggle down. I've got some videos here that provide kind of a tutorial about how to use this open-ended data exploration tool called CODAP, which is embedded in a puzzle piece window. It's pretty hard to see in this frame here, so I'm going to open it up to full screen. Watch the tutorial to figure out how to use this tool. I'll just briefly add, you can drag and drop variables from the table directly over. So in this case, we're looking at, I'm going to add a line here to show a trend. This is the total snowfall graph that students could have been analyzing in the data puzzle lesson. I'll pull over snow melt day of year. Other things we can do. So this is a change over time. We can show how we can explore relationships. Let's see, how might snowmelt day be impacted by spring temperature. And so we can build these, explore some of these relationships that students may have come up with questions in the data puzzle lesson. Come explore those questions. I'm going to add a least squared regression line, a trend line here, to explore how, not only how things are changing, but explore why as well. So one potential way that a data puzzle lesson could be used before challenging students to go play with the data, a more comprehensive data in a puzzle piece. Also note that we include some other questions that students could investigate with the data, some patterns we see in the data, and then some additional context. Some of this is kind of similar ideas to what was presented in the puzzle plot text of the actual data puzzle lesson. But there's some additional information about some of the scientists behind the numbers, the scientists that curated these data sets, data collection methods, and then different connections and classroom supports, ways to connect a puzzle piece to our scaffolded data puzzle lessons or connect them to other resources that are available. So just one idea, one way that these puzzle pieces could be used, again, kind of following an extension to a data puzzle lesson.